Youth is easily deceived, because it is quick to hope. Whosoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god. Courage is the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees the others. Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. We must be neither cowardly nor rash but courageous. It is of the nature of desire not to be satisfied, and most men live only for the gratification of it. The soul never thinks without a mental picture. Men create gods after their own image, not only with regard to their form, but with regard to their mode of life. The weak are always anxious for justice and equality. The strong pay no heed to either. With respect to the requirement of art, the probable impossible is always preferable to the improbable possible. Moral excellence comes about as a result of habit. We become just by doing just acts, temperate by doing temperate acts, brave by doing brave acts. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus for the light. It is not always the same thing to be a good man and a good citizen. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. He who cannot be a good follower cannot be a good leader. Wit is educated insolence. Dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in the consciousness that we deserve them. Wise men speak when they have something to say, fools speak because they have to say something. We acquire a particular quality by acting in a particular way. All persons ought to endeavor to follow what is right, and not what is established. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Learning is an ornament in prosperity, a refuge in adversity, and a provision in old age. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Great men are always of a nature, originally, melancholy. Fear is pain arising from the anticipation of evil. Character may almost be called the most effective means of persuasion. What is a friend? A single soul, dwelling in two bodies. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Those who educate children well are more to be honored than they who produce them, for these only gave them life, those the art of living well. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. I count him braver who overcomes his desires, than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. Learning is not child's play. We cannot learn without pain. To write well, express yourself like the common people, but think like a wise man. The high-minded man must care more for the truth than for what people think. Comedy aims at representing men as worse, tragedy as better than in actual life. To lead an orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Young people are in a condition, like permanent intoxication, because life is sweet and they are growing. For though we love both the truth and our friends, piety requires us to honor the truth first. It is simplicity that makes the uneducated more effective than the educated when addressing popular audiences. It is well to be up before daybreak, for such habits contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom. The pleasures arising from thinking and learning will make us think and learn all the more. The least deviation from truth will be multiplied later. The self-indulgent man craves for all pleasant things and is led by his appetite to choose these at the cost of everything else. It is not once nor twice but times without number that the same ideas make their appearance in the world. If you would understand anything, observe its beginning and its development. There is only one way to avoid criticism: do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. The guest will judge better of a feast than the cook. It is also in the interests of the tyrant to make his subjects poor. The people are so occupied with their daily tasks that they have no time for plotting. The beauty of the soul shines out when a man bears with composure one heavy mischance after another, not because he does not feel them, but because he is a man of high and heroic temper. Even that, some people deceived me many times. I will not fail to believe that somewhere, someone deserves my trust. At his best, man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst. The life of money-making is one undertaken under compulsion, and wealth is evidently not the good we are seeking, for it is merely useful and for the sake of something else. Tolerance and apathy are the last virtues of a dying society. Virtue lies in our power, and similarly so does vice, because where it is in our power to act, it is also in our power not to act. It is their character indeed that makes people who they are, but it is by reason of their actions that they are happy or the reverse. The wise man does not expose himself needlessly to danger, since there are few things for which he cares sufficiently, but he is willing, in great crises, to give even his life, knowing that under certain conditions it is not worthwhile to live. The least initial deviation from the truth is multiplied later 1,000-fold. The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. Bring your desires down to your present means. Increase them only when your increased means permit. Men acquire a particular quality by constantly acting in a particular way. Probable impossibilities are to be preferred to improbable possibilities. The ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. If one way be better than another, that you may be sure is nature's way,